Good afternoon. Yevheniia Kravchuk, member of Ukrainian Parliament, is with us. Can you believe at this first studio? Yevheniia, hello.
My pleasure to be with you.
Likewise. Let's just go straight forward. Ukrainian President Zelensky will speak at meeting of the UN Security Council on September 24th, where the Russian invasion of Ukraine will be discussed, of course. That reports of the mission of Slovenia to the UN, which currently chairs the Security Council. In your opinion, how effective is this appeal anyway? And how effective in general is the UN General Assembly?
Well, you have to differ UN General Assembly and UN Security Council, because in UN General Assembly you have all of the countries, and it's sort of bringing all of the countries together on one place, so they can discuss or say their opinion on different stuff. But in Security Council, I think it's still different. It's still an echo of the Second World War II, where you would have all of the countries, as those who won the World War II. But Russia is among them, although they just took the place of USSR, the Soviet Union. Which is not really a case when you apply for the membership of United Nations, because from the very beginning, for example, Ukraine was a member of United Nations as a part of the entity who made these United Nations come true. Of course, the Security Council is different, and it needs a reform, and we can talk more about it. But at the same time, the General Assembly, it's something that the whole world comes to one place and discuss. So of course, it's important for President Zelensky to speak there.
Okay, I take that as an answer. But, I was present personally at the previous UN General Assembly in New York. I was watching Zelensky speaking, but I wasn't back then. But now, today, I keep my expectations low. What about you?
You keep your expectations low about the other countries, or about
about the results and the actual.
Have?
Yeah, I keep my expectations low about would be a response and the result. Actual, what would be the actions from the United Nations, and are they so united? I mean, I hear a lot of talking.
Well, I would not expect many actions from the United Nations as the international organization, because we see that it doesn't have a mandate to do something.
Yeah.
And even more, the Security Council does have more mandate, but we see it's blocked by Russia as being the aggressor state. By the way, it's also other countries who are questioning why they are not present in the Security Council, though being, a huge power in the world. For example, India. They question why they are not in the Security Council. So it's something that we have to do a reform on it. Security Council, because General Assembly is obviously just a meeting point for all of the nations, all of the sovereign states that exist on the planet Earth.
Right. So this is more like a tribute. I mean, all right, well, a place to speak and a place to talk about the problems. I take that. But so what Ukraine is craving from this assembly, what do we want as a country? What is it?
So, we do not expect General Assembly to solve the war of aggression. Obviously, there are no tools to influence Russia in this point. Of course, we would like to have as much countries to be on our side. And it's not our side, it's just the side of international world order, and something that we have to stick to. But of course, the meeting of General Assembly is also the point, or the place where different leaders of the world meet each other. So I think one of the important meetings of this General Assembly would be meeting of President Zelensky and President Joe Biden.
Yeah, well, that was a lovely point just made, but that we do not be on Ukrainian side, be on the side of law and order. This is what I loved. Um, let's pass on to you to other questions. Reuters agency writes that Zelensky will go to the United States with a victory plan that he wants to present to American President Biden. Have you personally seen this plan? Well, how do you think it should differ from the peace plan anyway? That would be my question.
I don't think it will differ too much. I hope and basically you know, almost know that it will contain, of course, the membership in NATO as the long-term solution for the security in our region. And I'm saying in our region, not just for Ukraine,
Mm,
because Ukraine being in NATO is also somewhat a relief for other countries who are in Eastern Europe. So, of course, the 10 points of Zelensky peace plan are based on United Nations Charter, and that's where we're going to United Nations headquarters. Uh, but of course, it also needs actually the political will to
right,
see
right.
Ukraine in NATO.
Exactly. Well, that was I was trying to push you to this, and you said it finally exactly. I was sorry, I wasn't straightforward in my questions. We really need to have to, but there are leaders that have their political will, and they are saying it vocally and aloud that Ukraine needs to be in NATO. Do you think that we will hear this leaders speaking that way this time? Because last time I was there, I haven't heard them.
No, it's a very difficult question. At the same time, NATO, of course, it's actually in Ukrainian constitution, so it's our way to NATO that is somewhat a legacy to all of the political parties, all of the parliaments that will come after us. So this is the way that Ukraine chose. But I see a lot of superstitious thoughts about Ukraine being in NATO. That it's once Ukraine enters NATO, the World Three, the War Three will come. And it's interesting to see how Russia did after 2022. So they said that we do not want NATO at our borders, but right after they invaded in full invasion to Ukraine, Finland and Sweden joined NATO, and Finland brings like 1,000 kilometers of NATO border right now to Russia. So I think it's it just some stereotypical things to say that
Indeed.
Ukraine should not be in NATO.
Amen to that. Yevheniia, thank you so very much again for your time. And again, as usual, it was a lovely conversation with you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We talk soon. Thank you. Yevheniia Kravchuk was in our studio, a member of Ukrainian Parliament. Thank you so very much and stay tuned.